You want to know why stretching is so important when experiencing pain? Then you are in the right place. In this video, we'll explain it to you and also tell you how your fascia can especially benefit from it. And stay tuned. In the end, I will reveal to you our secret on how our exercises can help against pain in the long term. In this video, we want to address the topic of stretching in a general way without focusing on a specific pain condition so that it is interesting for everyone, especially those who suffer from multiple types of pain. As you have probably already heard, exercise is good for health, and this is confirmed by numerous studies. The cardiovascular system benefits, the immune system benefits, the entire metabolism benefits. Furthermore, exercise also promotes good sleep and helps with weight loss. These positive effects have led many to say that exercise is the best medicine of all. All these things can also have a liberating effect on pain, especially in the musculoskeletal system. For this reason alone, every person should incorporate movement into their daily routine. But even better, stretching of muscles and fascia, as well as muscle strengthening, have a particularly beneficial effect on pain in the musculoskeletal system. Science has helped us with many different studies to better understand why stretching and strengthening are so important. Why we need strength is so clear that it is easy to understand. Every movement requires a certain amount of strength because muscles are the basic driving elements in the body, and you always need them whenever the body is to move in any way. Whether we want to move forward, climb stairs, or carry groceries, it costs us more or less strength. Therefore, strength training is very important. In addition, strength training helps us learn how to control our muscles, depending on the method used. Those who have never done strength training, or have not done it for a long time, may be familiar with the feeling of muscle soreness afterwards, which allows you to feel areas in your body that you may not otherwise perceive at all. And with a few more exercises, you can often learn to consciously target the muscles in these areas. For a healthy structure of the muscles and fascia, your strength training should be as diverse as possible and make use of the full range of motion. For example, if you want to train your biceps with chin-ups, the movement should include full joint angles mobility. Go down completely after pulling up. Let your arms fully extend with the body weight. Let yourself fully relax. I will show you how to activate and strengthen your muscles even in the last range of motion. And you will be amazed at the health benefits that brings. First, let's start with stretching. Stretching is so incredibly important when you have pain. Sports scientists have found, for example, that stretching before exercise can help reduce the risk of injury. But not only athletes should stretch regularly. Some studies provide evidence that gentle stretching may even help to reduce inflammation. Especially interesting for us as pain specialists is that stretching exercises have been proven to help combat pain in the workplace. There are numerous studies from a wide variety of professional groups. Whether you work on the computer or do physically demanding work all day, stretching exercises help reduce common complaints in both lines of work. Of course, someone working at a computer may have more problems with the neck or carpal tunnel syndrome at the wrist, while craftsmen may experience their complaints more in the shoulder, knee, or back. Therefore, different professional groups were examined in various studies, and mostly the same results were obtained. When people do the right stretching exercises tailored to their everyday stresses, they have significantly less pain in the musculoskeletal system. What is better now? What is more important? Stretching or strengthening? Experts and scientists continue to discuss and research in order to find the optimal combination. Stretch, strengthen. Because as you can see, both have advantages. So when you do exercises that combine stretching and strengthening, you not only save time, but in many cases you can achieve significantly more than if you only do one of them. There are also studies on this where the effect was investigated in different combinations. So with back pain, neck pain, or shoulder pain, clear improvements are evident, as the subjects were able to alleviate their pain with the exercises. Also, we at Liebscher Bracht are researching to better document the effectiveness of our exercises. In general, there are several things to consider when doing stretching exercises. How often should you do the exercises? How intense should they be? And which execution of an exercise is the best? You might know that with our Liebscher and Bracht exercises, we offer various forms so that you can practice optimally, whether you are a beginner or advanced, and even with significant movement restrictions or pain. So, the respective requirements and desires differ, and all of that needs to be fulfilled. Developing a good system is therefore not so easy, and we researchers continuously provide new results and identify further correlations. Currently, it is certain that stretches only achieve their full effect after a certain duration. Few seconds probably have only a very small effect. Many studies show that you should hold a stretch for at least 30 seconds, preferably longer. We believe only then does the correct effect begin. There are even studies on this that show that the effects are even greater at 2 minutes or even more, and can even have a positive impact on adjacent structures and joints. This is probably due to the extensive interconnection of muscles, and especially the fascia throughout the body, because fascia are all connected to each other. And now we are going a bit deeper into the topic. Let's take a look at what fascia actually is and how it is connected to the muscles. So it is easier for you to understand why proper stretching can be so important even when experiencing pain. Maybe you already know fascia run through the entire body. You can imagine it approximately like the white skins and threads in an orange. They are everywhere and run through the entire fruit. It's similar with the fascia in our bodies. A particularly elastic fascia layer is also located, for example, under our skin. But the fascia also surrounds our organs and holds them in place. And the fascia surround and penetrate our muscles, tendons, and ligaments. Thus, the fasciae are automatically involved in all movements. The so-called deep fasciae support us in movements. They transmit the force of the muscles and are beautifully supple and elastic, so that everyday movements come easily to us without any tension or pulling anywhere. The special structure of the muscle fascia, which makes all of this possible, can also change with unbalanced movements and make life really difficult for us. Simplified, the muscle fascia mainly consists of collagen fibers that are layered on top of each other, forming a kind of scissor grid structure. This results in an elastic and at the same time very resilient network. Between these layers of collagen fibers, there is a soft but thick liquid layer which consists mainly of water and other substances such as hyaluronic acid. It ensures that the different layers of the fascia can slide nicely on top of each other. If we do not move in a balanced way, either too much or too little, and do not use the full range of motion of the joints, then the fascia becomes inflexible. They can stick together and is felt like a wool sweater that is washed too hot. Either the viscous lubricating layer changes and becomes sticky and adhesive, or the beautifully aligned collagen fibers become disordered and felted like this old wool sweater. They are then no longer as elastic. All of this is problematic and can lead to pain. Researchers have found that the fascia contain millions of nerves which can transmit pain to the brain. And when your fascia becomes unyielding and stiff, it naturally affects your muscles as they are intricately intertwined with each other. This can then lead to further damage. We believe that this can create biomechanical tensile forces that can excessively strain the joints. This is easy to understand. When the fascia, for example, become inflexible at the front of the hip because we sit too much and there is no movement in this area, then our muscles at the back have to tense up more if they want to straighten us up again. As a result, the stress on the joints continues to increase. We have already explained all these connections in detail in our own video. If you are interested, click here. What can you do about it? Stretch, of course. With the right stretching exercises, you slowly and carefully bring movement into these unforgiving fasciae. We recommend performing intensive stretches in order to achieve the greatest possible effect. What happens then in your fascia? The adhesions between the fibers can dissolve, it glides better again, and fascia research shows. Movement has an influence on how viscous the hyaluronic acid is, which is located in the thick fluid layer between the fascia fibers. And with targeted stretches, you can bring the necessary movement to the exact areas of your body that have become inflexible and therefore experience less and less movement. And with intense stretching, you can also release the entanglements of the collagen fibers. The structure of these collagen fibers is mainly influenced by small connective tissue cells called fibroblasts. They work all day, 24 hours long, and essentially weave your fascial network. How do they weave? They orient themselves to mechanical stimuli, such as those you can create through movement and especially through stretching exercises. When stretching, enzymes are released in the tissue. They split the collagen in the fiber layers, causing the previous fiber structure to dissolve and a new structure to form. So if you stretch regularly, your fascia can adapt to the new requirements because they reorganize themselves along the tension that occurs during stretching, allowing more movement in areas that you may not have used for a long time. Your body follows a simple principle. It is called Davis's law and is named after Henry Gassett Davis, an American surgeon and orthopedist who lived in the 19th century and conducted early studies on it. All ligaments and soft tissues, including fascia, lengthen when they are under tension and shorten when they are permanently in a blocked or slack state. In his opinion, Mother Nature does not want to waste energy and therefore does not want to maintain structures that we do not use for a long period of time. For you, this means you can make rigid or, as is often said, shortened fascia longer again through stretching. With your stretching exercises, you bring movement to areas of your body that you may move little or not at all in everyday life. The fibrous structures adapt to the loads, reorganize themselves, and can also become longer again. At the same time, the mentioned movements become easier for you because it is possible that adhesions in the tissue dissolve again. Of course, all of this does not happen overnight. Regular stretching is crucial for bringing about a long-term change in your fascia. To make it as easy as possible for you, we have developed a system with our Liebscher and Bracht exercises that is based on current scientific findings and combined with our many years of practical experience. And because time is super tight for each of us, we have made our exercises as efficient as possible. An exercise only lasts 2 to 2.5 minutes, and with that you can often already relax a whole area of pain in the body. So that everyone can participate, we have simple stretching exercises for beginners and also variations that even people with severe movement restrictions would not otherwise be able to do. What do we do exactly? For even more effectiveness and advanced training, we combine stretching exercises with targeted strengthening. The strengthening is therefore directly incorporated into the stretching exercises. This has the advantage of saving time, as well as the benefit that strength training takes place in the fully stretched muscle as so-called isometric strength training, and that's where strength is needed because there is hardly any. Thus, we know from over 35 years of experience that this prevents the fascia from becoming matted and forming tension-inducing overextensions in the involved muscles. On the contrary, we observe that already occurred shortenings are reduced again, and the stretching effect through this strength training even becomes greater. And to help you integrate the exercises well into your daily routine, we recommend that your daily training sessions last no longer than 10-15 minutes. That is important. Do not overexert yourself because what really matters is that you practice long-term and do your exercises every day. On YouTube, you can find plenty of videos from us about various pain areas and how you can prevent them yourself or get rid of them again. If you want to try our exercises directly, you will find an exercise video here for the whole body. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and activate the bell so you won't miss any of our videos. I wish you a lot of fun with it.